Something awesome just happened today that you guys need to be aware of for Puget Sound and pink salmon. It rained. Yes, it rained finally. We have had a very hot and dry summer so far, but at the most important time right now, when we have not had a lot of fish migration coming into the Sound, this rain is going to do some things. We're going to talk about how the tides affect that as well. There we go. There's a whole school right there. Yep. That's what's up. We had a burst of rain today. It may not have been significant enough to raise the river levels or do a lot of crazy things from that standpoint. But one thing it did do, it's going to start to trigger the clocks of these fish. And what I mean by that is they're going to start to finally feel the need to start pushing in a little bit quicker to Puget Sound. That burst of fresh water can do a lot of different things to these fish and get them triggered to start moving into Puget Sound. So what does that mean? Then we got to start getting ready for the tides, because we haven't talked about tides yet. So we're going to stay tuned to that. This is going to be an awesome little video. The tides in Puget Sound. The general rule of thumb, get out and fish whenever you can and just enjoy the heck out of it. When the pink salmon are in, it doesn't matter the tide. They are going to be everywhere. And in a short while, we have 7.7 projected million pink salmon into Puget Sound. They're already here, but the numbers haven't fully got here yet. This rain today is going to start the wave, and the next couple weeks, it's going to be game on from the beach. To make yourself be more successful, you want to time yourself around the tide and the beaches that you want to fish. So how do the tides affect the fish at your beaches? Well, you first got to look at the behavior of a pink salmon real quick. The pink salmon likes to run shallow. You'll see schools of them roaming out in the middle if you're in the boats. It is one of the coolest things you'll ever see. Some of the underwater footage that I got the last couple pink salmon runs, you can see these giant schools following your gear. So they're out there and they're frankly running shallow. They're frankly going to run closer to shore, and they give anglers off the beach the best chance to catch a salmon. So this is awesome. But we have to pay attention to what those tides do, because there are certain tides that give you a better chance to catch one yourself. Incoming or outgoing? What's the best tide? Well, I can tell you fish love current. An incoming tide or an outgoing creates current regardless of low or high. So if you have the ability to get out and fish, I think the best rule of thumb is fishing an hour before or an hour after whichever tide it was. High tide being more preferred, because typically you're bringing in the bait and more of the fish closer to shore with every high tide. But that's not the rule of thumb for every beach. Some fish great at high tides, but some also fish really good at low. And sometimes when it's low tide, there's hardly any people around, because everyone's under the mindset you have to fish on a high tide to be successful. It gives you a lot better opportunity a lot of the times. Doesn't mean it's the only time to catch fish. So what I like to do and how I prep myself for every trip is I get my tide book ready. You can get the pamphlet versions in the store, or you can go online and get your apps to be able to tell you the tide tables. NOAA is always one that's really good. I happen to have Tides for Fishing app on my phone, but I like to plan my week and I look at what those tides are doing. Sometimes those super huge swings that go to negative tide to a super high, sometimes that pushes way too much seaweed and influx of debris that can make it harder to fish on the slack tide, which is when it stops moving, but there's still going to be fish around. So I look at that data. I also then look at the weather to see which beaches are going to be windy, which beaches are going to have a lot of other impacts. And I plan my trips around that. Because being successful off the beach, half of it truly is planning. If you can time it right, it can be some of the best fishing you've ever experienced. Hot, heavy, everybody's catching them, and pink salmon will be seen all up and down the beaches being hooked by everyone of all ages. And I'm super excited because the sponsor of this video is actually our new pink salmon kits for 2025. These are going live on our website tomorrow at 10 a.m. There are a limited number of these initially here. I'm pumping out as many as I can, but I want to give you guys, my viewers, the first access. 10 o'clock tomorrow, the website below. You guys are going to be able to purchase these and help support the channel. I cannot thank you guys enough for all the continued support. We just hit 14,000 subscribers. I'm so excited for what this year is going to bring, because the pink salmon run this big is going to be some of the best and most fun fishing we're going to have. So are you excited for these pinks? Because these next couple weeks are going to be the best time to get out on the water. Mid to late August is going to be the peak of this run out in saltwater. And for us bank anglers, this is going to be one of the best times to capitalize on it. So tell me below what tides you like to fish. And if you're going to be ordering up some of our stuff, check in again 10 a.m. tomorrow. Tight lines, guys, and we'll catch you on the water. Fish on!